Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today I'm joined by John and Shay to talk about the culmination of your Dystopian Wars fleets.
Yep.
So I'll start with you, John. You've gone with an Imperium fleet.
Yes.
Why?
Because I think they are the best looking fleet. Honestly, and it's because of the Ice Maiden.
I mean, as far as centerpiece flagships go, it's a good one to sort of hang your hat on, I suppose.
And for me, it's the fleet that looks the most traditional Navy. There's lots of turrets, lots of like proper boat-shaped boats. Sounds really weird to say, but you know what I mean, like that proper aesthetic. Boats. Proper boats, yes. Not weird tadpoles.
Hi.
We'll
you worry about your own boats.
We'll come to him in time. We are going to be going into both sets of fleets and how they sort of come together. But overall, you've split yours into sort of three themes.
I have, yeah. So there's a SRS spam, there's a gun spam, and there's a flying spam.
I mean, it will be fascinating to see where they go in the long run. Your opponent, such as he is Shay. Now, you've come at it from a slightly different angle, and that was the Mercenary Fleet.
Yes.
So tell us what the crack is with that.
Well, I really wanted to play as the Black Wolf, the Mercenary Fleet. But I wanted the Black Wolf Fleet, and I thought, who else tickles my fancy? Who else do I like? And the Enlightened really stuck out to me. I don't really certainly know why. They just...
The super sci-fi era of madness.
Yeah, they just look cool. I just like them. I looked at some of the boxes and went, they look nice. I'll have those.
I think it says a lot about both of your personalities, where you've more or less gone, how can I put a more traditional fleet / air fleet onto the table and have it look like a World War I Jutland era style of force with dirigibles and balloons and the like, being added. And at the other end of the spectrum, you've gone, I really want to take the weirdest stuff I can.
Yes.
And he's not even watched Stingray.
No. I mean, that will be a job for another day, I think. What we're going to do is we're going to shoo Shay off. Myself and John will go through his fleets in a bit more detail. So we'll be right back with you in just a moment. Okay, then we're going to be starting things off with John and his Imperium.
Yeah.
So first thing off, you must have a Imperium main battle fleet before you do anything else.
That's right.
So what have you picked for your main battle fleet's flagship?
One
way of doing it, isn't it?
I've gone with the Ice Maiden because the Ice Maiden is just such an impressive ship. It just looks incredible. It's that old British World War II idea of the Pykrete sort of thing. It's quirky.
You can't sink it if it's designed by nature to float. Yeah,
exactly. And it just reminds me so much of a classic aircraft carrier shape. And I'm just drawn to that sort of style. Plus, this battle fleet, I really wanted to focus on SRS tokens. Yeah. Which is a bit of a theme with this fleet. I kind of figured, well, the biggest aircraft carrier is bound to be chucking out the biggest amount of SRS tokens. Yeah,
and you're not far wrong. It weighs in with a mighty 14 a turn with its carrier capability. Although, that being said, it's not too shabby as far as actual weaponry goes as well. It's got a nice spread of flak Veerlings on it, so a little bit of anti-aircraft if people happen to be sending SRS tokens your way. And then it has a whole rake of massive arc-based and voltaic weaponry. The advanced Sturmbringer being a particular beast on it, allowing you to devastate and impress your friends with some fantastic qualities of weapons as well. So the death blow letting you choose to double the firepower on it. If you really think you're going to smash through, it will take pretty much all of your actions for that turn as you power up and then can't really do anything else. But it's just a devastating beast. Big point sink though, so I imagine it's a relatively small main battle fleet.
It is, yeah. Coming in at 535 points out of a 1,000 point list is a little bit of a do I don't I kind of thing, you know. But I had to.
But sometimes you have to.
Yeah, I just had to include it because it's silly.
Yeah,
it's big and it's silly.
Now it doesn't go into battle by itself, though.
No. In the list, I've also decided to give it 6 escorts.
Yeah.
Because our little escorts here are cute.
That is true. They are adorable. They are just tokens. So there's a couple of different escort tokens that the Imperium can have. These obviously are aerial looking things, which I like the idea of them just gently floating alongside like an airship as the Ice Maiden just gently bobs along in the sea.
Yeah, it's just like barrage balloons.
Yeah. And they give you the benefits of screening against other SRS tokens or even bonuses to rolls whenever you're making actions on attacks on things, or you can destroy them. They can throw themselves like a human shield in front of things that might be coming to deal damage to the Ice Maiden as well. So,
and I kind of figured with this fleet as well, because this is a very low model count fleet, that the Ice Maiden needs as much help as it can when it's being fired at. So I kind of figured as many escorts as I could fit into 1,000 points gives me 6, but that's fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that might be half of your fleet right there.
Yeah.
In escorts and iceberg. But I mean, it's certainly sending a message to, I would say, your friends, but I don't think they're going to have many after you fielded this, to be brutally honest.
No, probably not.
No.
On to line.
Yes, you must have some line. Ships of the line or subs of the line or flyers of the line, but you must have something that makes up the majority of your fleet. In this case, it's a very small majority.
It is a single Blucher.
I mean,
I don't really have any other line ships out there for it.
Yeah.
So I kind of figured we may as well just chuck it down there and see what happens.
You do have the option to field a minimum of 1.
And we went with that.
You've gone with that.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Blucher has heavy Voltec guns on it as well. And it also has, sort of standard broadside. So it can sort of repel boarders to a certain extent. But really the Voltec guns is where it's at. A lot of Voltec in your list.
Yes, quite a lot. It does, it feels like it's a ship there just to be a bit of a nuisance. I don't know what its longevity could possibly be, but, it's just there to distract someone maybe for a turn or two.
I mean, at the end of the day, it is firing in extra shots somewhere, or it does have the Speerschüler, the voltaic torpedoes. They can reach out and touch people at a distance. And I think with the Ice Maiden in general, you want to be at a distance as much as you can. If you're just going to be launching carrier wave upon carrier wave at things, then you're going to be at the back of the board a fair bit. I know obviously in this edition, they've reduced the range of SRS tokens to try and stop people just floating at the back line and drifting slowly. But you're still going to want to keep a fair distance between you and your carrier grip and everything else. So
my thinking was in general with this list was to not necessarily hold back, but be as far away as possible. But at the same time, with the Ice Maiden in particular, because it's got some pretty decent firepower in it as well, to just slowly creep across the table at them, keep throwing SRS tokens in their face and hope they will hope they have enough flak to deal with it. Yeah,
I noticed that you have brought some additional SRS tokens for the remainder of the fleet.
Yes, I figured I'm not going to sink any more points into line. I don't want line in this list. I want more SRS tokens, and that has come in the shape of my 3 Conrads.
Yeah. 14 SRS tokens for Ice Maiden.
Yes.
4, 4, 4, so 12. So they're almost within an Ice Maideneth.
Yeah.
In a little squadron of 3. Again, filth, John. It is filth.
It's whether or not it works, because when I was pointing this up, this was the first list I put together, and I was like, oh, this model counter is really low. Is this just going to be a glass hammer? And I have a feeling it might be a glass hammer.
The interesting thing about it is, again, you've got a ton of SRS tokens to go out. They do all have broadsides, so they can defend themselves to a certain extent. And because they're mostly going to be firing SRS off in any direction they want, it means you can aim their torpedoes in a more advantageous position. And because torpedoes don't degrade over range, with the 3 of those and the Blucher, they can essentially set a line of torpedoes up and just launch them and clear the way for something else.
Yeah.
It's roughly 1,000 points.
It's coming in at 990.
Okay, so it is the main battle fleet. You can't have any specialist battle fleets without having a main in there. And for most games, you're going to be playing about 2,000 points. So you've come up with a couple of different options for specialist lists.
That's right.
So we're going to take a look at one of those now. Okay, so the first specialist list then is going to be your aerial.
Yes, we're doing an Iron Skies, and just because the name's great, and we had the airships to spare.
Yeah.
Our flagship is this monster.
Sir Maximilian.
The Maximilian, the line breaker.
Yeah, it very much is a bit of a line breaker. It has all of the weapons. The big Gustav twin gun on the front. Had the option to upgrade that to a bombard. I see you didn't.
No.
Why bother?
2 guns looked better.
2 guns do look better. It also has a ton of rocketry on it as well. So you can really reach out and touch people from quite an exceptional range with the Maximilian. Not just because it's in the air, but because you've got a lot of extreme range weaponry on it, I suppose, is the best way to put it. But there's also the option to get up close and personal. You've got things like the uranium bombs to just drop massive blasts on top of all and sundry below you. If that's not enough, then there's even the Sturmflamme, which is only close range, so it's more or less to repel borders. You just flame the bejesus out of everything below you.
Nice.
It's got a ton of dice that will come in there. Unfortunately, you're only using it every other turn. But the nice thing about it is, as a defensive deterrent, if anybody gets close enough to you, they're going to suffer that quite badly. And then you've always got the option to just drop in a load of sky jumping maniacs, I think is the best way to put it. Is
that the technical term?
That is the technical term, with the Luftlander boarding parties. Yeah. So they can be launched en masse from here. Where do you go from the Maximilian?
Well, we give the Maximilian some escorts.
Oh, because of course you would.
So I've chucked 5 escorts at the Maximilian this time.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, because as you say, it has the opportunity to either stand off or get up a bit closer and annoy things. So I think the escorts are just going to be nothing but handy towards it.
The interesting thing is, because this is another 1,000-point list that can be supplemented to the Ice Maiden's fleet, you're going to be looking at 2 flagships with potentially 11 escorts flying around them to be removed. And your opponent will not thank you for any of that.
No.
No.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, isn't it though?
And for reference, this list comes in at 992.
Okay.
So not too bad.
Well, what do you have for line?
Another Blucher.
Right. I'm seeing a pattern here. It has to be said, John.
I accidentally built some of the airships in the wrong configuration.
Okay.
So they ended up being assault, not line.
Right.
Or something else, not line. And
yeah.
I was like, uh-oh. So Blucher gets the...
It gets the nod to get into battle first.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. So, well, we already know what a Blucher is. You've now doubled your Blucher power in your list.
I now have 2.
Now I got 2.
Yeah, there's not much else to say.
No.
There was a slot to be filled, and the Blucher fills that slot.
It does it admirably.
Yeah.
Admiral.
Well done.
Thank you. Right. Well, back to the airships then.
Back to the airships. Let's pick a couple of our larger assault ships then. So we have 2 Kriegssturm.
Kriegssturms. Interesting. They also rock voltaic torpedoes.
Yeah.
So again, they've got the ability to launch at range, despite obviously the Maximilian being very aggressively long range, shall we say. It wants to stay at the back. Likewise, I suppose your Ice Maiden does. It's interesting that your other airships are relatively close quarters to a certain extent. The torpedoes being sort of its longest range ability. But otherwise, it's going to be going in there with the Sturmflamme to try and deal some more devastation up close and personal. They're a cute little couple.
They are. So to supplement them, I'll just bring them all in at once, to be fair, because we have 2 Munichs and 2 Jaegers.
The sheer volume of Sturmflamme coming in is respectable, it has to be said. And one of the big things about this is they will get additional damage against things that have got critical system failures already. So being able to reach out and touch somebody and increase your firepower with the voltaic weaponry is very good. I mean, it's an interesting thing to think about. How do you deal with so much aerial components? You've got a solid block in the form of the Ice Maiden, literally. That's going to be very difficult for people to remove from the table. And then at the same time, they're having to deal with a lot of swarming air capability. And then if you're not rocking a lot of aerial or anti-aerial weaponry, you're going to suffer, because it's quite difficult to actually take them down. Hitting a flying target is a little bit tricksy for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating setup. We didn't talk about the fleet special rules. specifically on the Ice Maiden, because the mainstay Imperium list buffs Prussian flagships and the Ice Maiden isn't.
Yeah.
But with your aerial list, you do actually get a specific fleet rule that you can engage with.
Yeah, so we have the Battlefleet bonus, which is strategic vantage. So when determining initiative at the start of the game, the Battlefleet's admiral may draw 2 victory and valor cards and select the card with the highest value.
Okay, so it really does give you the benefit of seizing the initiative over your opponent and getting into a more advantageous position, which is definitely a way to go.
Yeah, with this certainly, and if it was attached with the Ice Maiden Battlefleet as well, it allows me a bit more flexibility and sort of pick and choose my shots maybe a little bit better, or position myself in a nicer way. So
right, well that's 1,000 points of aerial capability.
Escorting a Blucher.
Escorting a Blucher. I mean, the fact that that's just chugging along with the rest of this fleet is just the most adorable thing ever. I just like the idea that there's very low cloud and nobody can see, and there's just a solo Blucher out there and a fleet's going, oh my God, happy days for us, we're going to have him. And then suddenly
all this comes down through the cloud layer.
Just comes down through.
It also makes me smile that the Blucher's crew get a free air show every day.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's one way of doing it, isn't it? So that's your first specialist list, but you have built a second specialist list that's also available to swap in or out. Okay, so our third fleet then?
Yeah, so our third fleet is a Scandinavian Reavers fleet.
Good.
It's definitely different. And for our flagship for that, I mean, you can't get better than the Ragnarok.
Yes, it's definitely a way to go. The Ragnarok hoving into view with Sternbringer on the front.
No escorts for my flagship this time.
Shocking.
I know.
This fleet is based on the Scandinavian fleet?
It's literally the Ragnarok Battlefleet box.
Okay.
Because all of its ships are involved in this fleet, plus a couple of extra little bits.
Yeah.
From there, we need to go on to, I think, is it Line?
Yes.
Line is not just Line this time.
Is it another Blucher?
No.
Is it 2 Bluchers? Try to think, how can you improve on a Blucher?
Well, we go with 2 Jotuns.
Yes.
To start with, which are just really sexy looking ships. As far as the Imperium goes, they're probably some of the nicest looking design-wise.
And again, Voltaic, heavy gun battery and Sturmklane. The fleet really is setting things up to stick critical systems damage onto people and then punish them for having system critical damage on them. I mean, it's a good way of doing it, has to be said.
It just all around has to be a very shocking experience.
Yeah. Also, because of the list that you're choosing to field as specialists, you don't have to worry about suffering critical damage and not being involved yourself.
No, because they'll always get a chance to shoot their weapons on top of that. So I think we are on to more Line.
Yes.
This is a Line heavy.
Different, certainly.
I say Line heavy. I mean, instead of 2 Bluchers, it's 2 Volsungs in this one.
Yeah.
As a couple of extra punches in there.
It's interesting, partly because you've also got the massive Sternbringers on them again. You're looking at that arc weaponry and dealing punching damage and system critical damage. But also, you do have a little bit of anti-SRS.
A little bit.
I mean, with the Veerlings. So if this list is going in, or this fleet is going in alongside the Ice Maiden, who've got a lot of their own SRS tokens and then a few Flak Veerling weaponry on them, you do have that defensive capability, which allows you to be more aggressive with your own SRS tokens.
Yep.
You're not having to worry about keeping any back or pulling them back to defend you.
From there, we have a fair amount of patrol to play with as well. So we have 2 Sigmars. Is that how we say that?
It's how I'm saying it. Very simple little destroyers with light voltaic batteries on them.
Yeah.
They do everything the heavy batteries do, just less so.
Just less so.
But nimble, they can get in people's faces and harass them, I suppose, is a good thing about it.
Which is kind of what I was thinking of having like the big ships sitting back a little bit and letting the smaller stuff go in and just annoy people. So from there, our last addition to this fleet is 4 Hoths.
Yes.
Because they are cheap, they are cheerful, and they're nice looking.
Yeah. And again, with the Hoths, and these are Scandinavian boats themselves, they come with Sturmklane again. So more arc weaponry that's in there to try and cause devastation to your opponent, setting them up for the big 1-2 punch, essentially. A lot of the weapon loadouts in here are very synergistic. You're either looking to put system critical damage onto people, maybe for not much damage, but then paired with quite a lot of voltaic torpedoes and heavy gun batteries means that the double in damage that they'll receive because of it can be quite frightening. Interesting and relatively big and speedy as well.
Yeah.
Added to which, most of certainly all the Scandinavian stuff, so the Ragnarok, the Jotun, and the Hoths, all have the sort of speed boost, the Viking raiding ability. They can ram and board in the same turn, which you normally can't do because they're set up for that. So once they start getting in and ripping wire out of the walls and exploding things, then ships are just going to end up with a lot more critical damage on board, and then they get Voltec weaponed off the table as well. It's a filthy set of lists, John, it has to be said. I'm very impressed. I like it.
This was me sort of just trying, like, reading the themes, talking to you a little bit about how some of the stuff works, and then trying to figure out what I have based, what lists I can make with what I have. And if you've seen the vlogs, you'll see that this isn't everything. So there is still more options lying out there as well.
Yeah.
There's probably another 2,000 points of options.
I mean,
there's a lot more Bluchers.
It's good to have, but it shows that you don't need a huge amount of models to form a relatively hard-hitting compact fleet. Any of these would play a small game because they're 1,000 points.
Yeah.
You could then either add in some of the bits and pieces that you've still got painted that we haven't seen here, or expand on one of these to maybe a 1,500 point game.
Yeah.
Or, like I say, slam them both together, or indeed all three for a massive game. Full 3,000 points, 3 flagships, donating around the table.
I need to build and paint more escorts in that case, because I have enough escorts to do 1.5.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, they are just tokens though, so there are other escorts are available. You don't have to use the little the floaty booties.
True.
You can use something else for them, and there's plenty kicking around in the Imperium range as well.
Absolutely.
Right. Hopefully that's given you an idea of where you can go with the Imperium. Let's bring Shay in and check out what he's been doing with the Enlightened. All right then, we've got Shay now to talk about his main battle fleet.
Indeed.
Your main battle fleet is Enlightened.
It is indeed, yes.
Right. So where are we going to be starting with this? Who is your flagship?
So we're going to be starting with the Shione.
Could be.
Could be. Shione.
Could be that. Could be Keon.
It could be.
Because there's a touch of the Greek about the Enlightened lists.
Oh, there you go.
So
the more you know.
Who knows what way it's going to go. Interesting, because right off the bat you've got a submerged flagship.
Yes.
Which means you can spend a lot of time not being attacked by things.
I like that.
Yeah, I can
I
see
like
why
attacking other people's things and not having my things attacked.
Yeah.
It's the best time.
Yeah. So yeah, it's got some interesting weaponry on it. Some arc-based weapons, which are good for putting critical system damage onto things.
Fantastic. That's what we like.
It also has piercing, so reduces or counts the armor of its target as being 1 lower. And more importantly, it has triangulate. It has triangulate 6.
That sounds good.
It's fantastic.
Big number sounds great.
If it is within range of a friendly unit with the hydrophone quality, then it gets to add that triangulate ability to its firepower when it's doing attacks. And it comes with a squadron of essentially escorts, these little fellas who are on board, who all have that hydrophone quality.
Indeed.
Who are they then?
They are the Euripides. Euripides, if you will.
Again, don't speak Greek. So any of these are viable alternatives for us. You know, like I say, they obviously have the hydrophone quality, so they can be close enough that they're letting the big sub triangulate. But they also have torrent, which means once they've made an attack, they can then make a second attack at the same target or a adjacent, shall we say, another one within about 4 inches. So you can start pumping through a line.
Doubly delightful.
So they're a vicious little unit.
Yeah.
They have to come with the Keone.
Sure.
Shion. Shine.
Yep.
Shiny McShine.
That's the one. That's its new name.
Answers on a postcard as to how that is pronounced. Yeah, so you do have to take the 6 with it.
Yep.
They're included in its points cost, but as a support squadron, they're vicious.
Not bad.
They are vicious.
Not bad at all.
After your flagship and his accompanying fiends or friends, you've got to have some line.
Indeed, and I do indeed. I have one singular ship. I have the Copernicus.
Ooh, the Copernicus comes with torpedoes.
Of course it does.
Which is good. Most things do. It also comes with a heavy particle beamer and a lance as well. So the interesting thing about a lot of your boats is you have very short range weapons. In comparison, you don't really have anything that goes out to extreme ranges, but either sort of closing or short. They have a impactful punch. So they'll have precise, which means you get to name a system failure and then roll a bunch of dice, depending on how many things have precise in the squadron.
So I get to choose what I destroy?
Well, yes, you can essentially go, I would like steering lock to come up, and then roll.
You're going to ram into a shore?
In the case of this, where it's a squadron of 1, it's a 1 in 6 chance of getting it right, but it is a bonus critical system damage that you might not ordinarily get if you don't have the massive attacks. When you have bigger squadrons who also have particle beams, and you do, then the chances of doing that critical system damage, even if you don't do actual large amounts of damage, because you only have, I think you just have to do 1 damage to activate the system failure, is essentially they just punch through at the precise location to knock out the nav or to knock out the power or whatever it happens to be. So the Copernicus is a nice little boat to go with.
Very good, very good.
Who else do you have with your main battle fleet?
So I've got 2 different patrol units. My first one is 2 stilettos.
Okay, so stilettos, again, particle beams.
Of course.
And lances. So again, like the Copernicus, you've got relatively short range, but doesn't really matter when you're able to systematically carve out parts of your opponent's boats.
Like a scalpel.
Yes, you are.
It's a precision tool.
There are sledgehammers in this game, crown fleets with a lot of heavy mortars. We're looking at you, and in stark comparison or contrast, I suppose it makes a lot of sense. The Enlightened are the most technologically superior of all the fleets. So
we're not just technologically superior. We're just superior.
Just are superior. Yeah.
Better than all of you.
Yep. But a nice set of patrol, and you have more patrol to go with.
Yes, I do indeed. I also brought 3 Merians.
Okay. And the Merians are just a squadron of essentially a smaller version of what we've looked at with the Stiletto.
Yeah.
So again, particle beam, and again, a touch of the torpedo as well. So
bit of both, why not?
The nice thing is, because the torpedoes obviously have the range that you don't have with a lot of the surface weapons, if that makes sense, you can fire them ahead and then use them to push forward. Or if, in the case of some of the submersible stuff, you'll just stay underwater until you're close enough to bring those weapons to bear.
Makes sense.
Which is delightful.
Indeed.
Not alone, though. There is a final little unit.
Yes, indeed. In my support, I have 4 ammo carrier frigates, or AMO.
Yeah, they definitely have just a little support choice with the ability to lay down some more torpedoes.
Yep.
The thing we haven't talked about with your torpedoes is they are, in many respects, clever torpedoes. So there's a certain amount of guiding / homing on all of your torpedoes. So it makes it more difficult for your opponent to see them coming and get out of the way, which is normally what happens. You launch them off early, and then your opponent just calmly moves to one side.
Yeah.
With these, you launch them off early, they move to one side, and they turn face and keep coming in after them. So as a mainstay fleet goes, roughly 1,000 points a game?
Yep, 998.
Okay, so you've got as close to...
I've tried to fit as much as I could in.
Well, there's no point. If you don't use them, you lose them.
That's exactly it.
There is a Battlefleet bonus, though, for your main fleet.
Yes, indeed, and that is the turbo incubation drives.
Yes, it's a fantastic piece of far future equipment that has been found. And as I can't remember the scientist who created it, but as he said, it doesn't matter what sort of demons you think you saw when you were traveling through the void. They're much more important than that, so shut up about the demons. But you can, through the use of the turbo encapsulation drive, essentially redeploy 25 inches away.
Oh.
You can't move in the turn you do it as you vanish through the void and reappear, but you reappear with any facing. So all of a sudden reappearing behind your opponent with torpedoes or, I don't know, a lot of particle beam and ether lance that are very short range but damaging.
What a shame.
Then, that's a good way of doing it.
What a shame.
You do unfortunately have to add a little void die every time you do it. And every time you travel, then you have to roll that void die. And you have the potential to cause disorder and system critical damage to yourself, as unusual gribbly things may or may not be eating the wires in your boats.
It's just rats.
Could just
large
be rats. And you'll appreciate this. If you have 3 levels of disorder on a boat, technically they can't jump.
Right.
But what happens is when the rest of the squadron jumps, they just never reappear out of the void again. Your opponent will get the victory points for losing them if they were a scoring unit.
Yeah.
But I know that will not trouble you at all.
Not
anyway.
the slightest.
No.
Not the slightest. I get a chance to torpedo volley you right in the arse, you're getting it.
Yes. And then just carve off whatever bits are left afterwards
Exactly.
with laser beams.
Exactly.
It's a nice fleet. So that is your mainstay.
Yep.
And with that, you are able to unlock some delightful little specialist lists.
Yes.
So what specialist list are we going to look at first?
So yeah, I've got the Enlightened Exploratory Battlefleet.
Oh,
which
nice.
sounds very nice. We're going exploring.
Going exploring.
Yes.
And life above the ocean waves, or perhaps
You'll be happy to... Most of my opponents, John, will be happy to hear this one is above the water.
Oh, shame.
Mostly.
They become targets when they're above the water.
That's it. But that's what the main fleet's for.
So what's our flagship?
So my flagship this time is pretty beefy, such as the Shione was. But above water, it's the Hypatia.
Interesting. The big Hypatia rocking particle beamings.
Yes, multiple.
Does have various hard points that can be upgraded with various types of weaponry and shieldings, but otherwise it's just there to be a massive brick, a node that the rest of your fleet can activate around.
I think it goes well.
Yeah.
The last fleet is very, even though this is the specialist fleet, the main fleet is very specialised.
Your main battle fleet is very specialised for
being annoying.
just a mainline fleet. Yeah. So it's just going to have a chunk of points. The sheer volume of generators on there means that there's a lot of tricks that you can start playing with it.
Yeah.
And the generator list for the Enlightened is as long as my arm, from chrono generators to arc generators to all sorts.
Yes,
so
indeed.
There's a lot of, I suppose it's a very toolkit
flagship
where you can just start going, well, I'm not going to rock out with an arc generator. I'm going to take X, Y, or Z, maybe some chrono generators, and maybe push rocket batteries or whatever it is. But as standard, the massive beams will just absolutely devastate most things anyway.
It's a Swiss Army knife.
It is.
Okay, next up we have my one singular Enlightened squadron and my one singular Enlightened ship, which is the Copernicus.
Now, I'm not going to draw similarities between you and John.
Right.
But in his first main battle fleet and in his first specialist battle fleet, he too brought one singular ship of the line.
Yep.
He just had a Blucher in both of those, and in this case you've got a Copernicus in both of yours.
Yep.
It is the Copernicus. It does what Copernici do. It beams, it torpedoes, generally makes a nuisance of itself.
Precisely. It's just good at everything, isn't it?
So presumably, like John, you've only taken a Copernicus because you had to, and therefore you've got interesting, more exciting, fun things in the list then.
Indeed.
Go on then.
The Copernicus was just there because I needed a line unit. So one of my nice new ones is a patrol, and it's the Keto.
Yeah. So automata.
Yep.
In this case, some sort of massive
scarab,
space bug.
Yeah.
Millipede thing.
Why not?
I mean, well, I can think of a few reasons not
Look at how many arms it has.
No.
And they're all spiky.
No, thank you. The ventral atom smasher.
Yeah.
That it comes with. It's a good way of absolutely ploughing through a whole host of heavily armoured targets if you need to. And the fact the fact it's automata as well means you're not having to rely on terrible things like crew who get scared when people start shooting back at you and stuff.
Automata, they do what I say.
Yeah.
Why don't I have a full army of these?
I'm deeply surprised you don't yet, actually, to be fair.
I thought I'd go against the grain.
Well, I mean,
I will someday.
That's one way of doing it.
I will someday. So, next up, we have two separate squads of the same ship.
Yes.
So we've got two squads of Diogenes.
Okay. If I was not Alexander, I would be Diogenes.
Very good.
As the great once said. These are a real peach of a set of ships.
Yes.
Specifically because they also have triangulate. So when you run that with your main Shione battle fleet and its little accompanying Euripides, then they will also get that bonus to their firepower within range. So, and having two squadrons of them means you can really spread the love around. So you can see the synergy working quite nicely between this fleet and your main battle fleet.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's a good way of doing things. Everybody likes to be very precise and
triangulate everyone's position.
Triangulate everyone's position and then melt it off.
I know exactly where you are. Let's get rid of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a good way of doing it.
It's perfect.
So two sets of Diogenes.
Indeed. And I do have another scout unit. I have two Praxilla.
Praxilla are a little ramming they're not even ramming, to be brutally honest. They don't come with any major weapon systems on board.
Yeah.
But what they do instead is do raking attacks. So being a submerged unit, they can tear underneath and then choose a unit that they've gone under to essentially have saw bladed their way through keels as they go.
Beautiful.
So you can do additional damage without ever having to pop up. You just sort of start slicing and dicing.
Fantastic.
I imagine at some point in the future, once you've had a play around with those, that unit may become slightly bigger.
That unit may become slightly bigger, yes.
Because you'll be getting additional die for each member of the squadron that sort of charged or raked the bows and keels of people as they went past.
That sounds amazing to me.
Yeah, that's good fun.
Delightful, some might say.
Yeah. And what is the last member of your merry crew?
Lastly, we have one singular support, and it is the Quintillion. The
Quintillion, as people may be able to see there, from the monumental amount of red facing up the way, has got all of the long-ranged battery fire. So, I mean, it's something that you do need to think about when you're rocking a fleet that is very close range. Obviously, the submerged units can better position themselves to make effective use of it, but sometimes you need to think about surface-dwelling ships. How do you deal with them? How do you engage at range, especially if you're coming up against something like an Imperium fleet that's full of flyers who won't want to come close to you.
Imagine that.
You can't use raking attacks because they're not on the water. So at that point, being able to go rocket battery and reach out and touch somebody from an extended range is a great way of doing this.
You only think you're safe.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's having enough tools in the toolbox that you can account for anything.
Exactly.
So if you do run into those aerial-based fleets that are out there, then having rocket batteries is great. If you come up against this carrier fleet, your subs can head forward, but then you can start doing a bit of devastating fire on them.
Yeah,
start to weaken them in advance.
Perfection.
Yeah. What is the bonus for your little Explorators then?
So it is the calculated extrapolation. Each round during the draw card step of the ready phase, this Admiral gains one bonus card.
Yeah.
A little bit more flexibility.
More flexibility, both in terms of scoring and in terms of valor conditions on the cards to either buff or debuff, depending whether your opponent's coming at you or you're going at them. So the tactical flexibility of having more of those cards in your hand, whether it's for seizing the initiative or for dealing some real serious damage to them, is not to be misconstrued as being sort of weak. So yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
It's a nice, compact and solid little force.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. We have one more specialist force. And as you were saying earlier, this is the reason that you wanted to build these fleets.
Yes. So I've got the Black Wolf Mercenary Battlefleet.
Yes.
This is the main reason I actually wanted to do this, because I saw the Black Wolf fleet and went, they're called Black Wolf, got red stars all over them, paint them black, they'll look amazing.
Yes.
And they do. I quite like how they turned out.
Let's bring in your flagship.
Yes.
Which isn't a ship.
No. Whatever that is. Donut.
It's a fully armed and operational battle station.
Yes.
Is what it is.
Called the Anastasia.
Yes. This is all of the points, isn't it?
Yes. It was quite expensive.
For a 1,000-point list, this is the guts of half of it.
Yes.
It does come with rocket batteries, so it can reach out and touch things in all directions.
I would like to think so.
And multiple tri-rail guns as well. And again, it's just going to sit there, be a massive, massive block of hull points that people are going to have to remove.
Oh, yes.
And at the same time, just constant barrages of rail guns and rocket batteries, just causing untold mayhem.
Perfection.
I think so.
I love it.
It's a good look for the Anastasia. I appreciate it.
It's everything I've ever wanted in a battle station.
Yeah, it is a hefty piece of kit.
Indeed.
Now, with your Black Wolf, they are a mercenary fleet from the Commonwealth. You are restricted in what you can bring.
At least half of my guys have to be underwater units.
Okay. Not an issue for you.
Not particularly. I quite like them.
Yeah.
They're nice.
You can't be sunk if you're already under the water.
That's it.
Yeah.
You can't sink me if I'm already sunk.
We're going to be rocking off some line first.
So yeah, the first and only line unit in the army. Very low on line units, John and myself. Not a fan of them. They're not special enough. We have 2 Kizak submarines.
I'm impressed that your squadron has doubled in size. That's a 100% increase over the last line unit squadron.
Exactly. I'm impressed with myself too.
Yeah. Kizaks subs with both torpedoes and rocket batteries.
Why not?
So if you need to pop up and start reaching out and saying hello to somebody who's far away,
good evening,
you can do that.
Absolutely.
Or you can just stay where you are, below the waves, and fire out torpedoes.
Say hello from below.
Willy-nilly, as your little... But I do like the dark steel, has to be said.
That's actually turned out very nice.
But yeah, your Kazaks, they're solid. They're functional. They do exactly what they need them to do.
That's it.
Torpedo and rockets. So you've got range, and you've got the pop-up availability of submarines as well.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
you can be where you need to be with them.
Precisely.
Who's backing them up?
So we have a unit of 4 piranhas, which are my patrol unit. There they are, only tiny little fellas.
But again, when it comes down to it, it's another 4 vessels, all with torpedoes.
So many torpedoes.
Yeah, I have to say, with my own Crown fleet, I'm a big fan of torpedoes and rocket batteries. Just let all of the things happen far away. And again, the fact that they are submersible means that the assaults can come from directions that people are not expecting to come from.
Yep.
So the fact that this is going to be so noticeable on the table, people will have to come towards it to deal with it.
Yep.
And in the meantime, you're going to have a whole slew of underwater shenanigans, I believe is the phrase.
That is the correct term.
Yeah.
That all of my sailors use.
And speaking of shenanigans.
Yes. We have last but not least, the Akula submarine in support, which is just awesome looking.
Yeah.
I love how they look.
There's a variant, the Deathbringer variant, can also be used as a flagship. So you have the potential. I don't think there's a major difference except the nose cone, shall we say. But if you wanted to run this as a Deathbringer, instead of having to bring
full submarine list,
then you could absolutely go ham with it. But the Kula by itself, torpedoes again, which are great, also has the mine layer capability. So you can drop a mine, and I think as part of the mine layer rule, you can reposition very nimbly when you do the mine laying. So you get to do a double pivot before, drop mines, go straight, and then like up to a double pivot again. So you can essentially strafe.
Nice.
While leaving mines behind you to either cut off areas of the board from your opponent, or just put them in front of where you know he's going to be coming, especially if you've got a very slow moving boat of some description where you know that the drift is going to bring them up to and into in short order and will cause real problems for the unit to either have to split around or cause some disorder in there. But the Akula's very nice, and again also has the capability of reaching out and hitting people from far away. It is just like a mummy shark and a whole family of various little sharks with. It's a nice look,
isn't it? It looks well, yeah.
Yeah. What is the fleet rule that you get for bringing your mercenary black wolves with you?
Yes. So I get wolves upon the fold. When a friendly black wolf unit makes an attack action or boarding action, and the target has at least 2 levels of disorder, the admiral can re-roll any blank results in the action roll.
Obviously, it's a little situational, but the fact it's a mercenary force that can go alongside various Enlightened fleets,
exactly,
especially ones that have the potential to either punch holes with precise and carve out specific critical systems, or little sort of foibles like that. It means you can length things up for that 1-2 punch again, where your Enlightened are doing the damage. And then at a certain point, you then go with your boarding actions, or you go with your aggressive Black Wolf to take advantage of the fact that those systems have been damaged and there's disorder on those units. So it can be an interesting way of dealing with it.
Yeah.
I will say it's fascinating seeing the subs, because so many fleet on fleet actions are defined by how well you can maneuver. The subs don't have that problem so much. You can just dip in under things. You don't have to worry about those accidental collisions. You can be a lot more maneuverable and free-flowing. And at the same time, having things like that's more or less stationary for the whole time of the Anastasia means you've got an anchor point that you can either force your opponent to come towards, or just area denial as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Shall we bring John back in?
Yes, we shall.
Right. Give us a second and we'll grab John and be right back. So there you go. Hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of the 3 fleets they've put together, or at least the 3 fleets that you've seen here. As John mentioned when we were looking at his, you do have
a significant amount of spares.
Yeah, 2,000 points of options, shall we say.
Yeah.
No more flagships though.
No.
No. So it is strictly options in there.
Well, I do have one more Zeppelin, which counts as a flagship.
Yes, you do have another.
But, I mean, the Maximilian's cooler anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair enough.
That is fair.
But you've even got some of the big Teutonic Knight Stompy things.
I do, yeah, which will have to fit in somewhere at some point.
It'll be interesting to see what way round it goes, especially whenever you come up against Shay at some point in the not too distant future. Now, it would make sense if we go Core Fleet against Core Fleet first, and then after that expand to a 2,000 point game. And I think doing it that way means you'll have an idea of how your main fleet plays, but then which specialist fleet? Well, I know which specialist fleet you're going to be taking, because it will just be the Black Wolves, won't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. But John, then obviously, after you've seen how the Ice Maiden sort of handles the SRS spam works, you've got a more dramatic choice as to whether you go traditional or dirigible. Yeah. Which will be interesting to see.
I'm going to have to make that decision at the end of the first game and have a think about it.
Yeah. You also have additional vessels.
Yes.
A lot more additional. Many more. Including many more flagships as well.
Yes, many more flagships.
Well,
three more. I think it's 3 more.
Shocking amount. But interestingly, you also have the potential to field just a full 2,000 points of the Black Wolf.
Indeed, yeah. I can indeed, yeah. I've got basically double what's here, apart from a double Anastasia.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Now, there's 2 ways you could look at that. One is you could turn to your opponent and go, I want to play the Black Wolf fleet. It's what I really, really want in life. Please let me play it. And your opponent will go, it's a specialist fleet, but I don't care because I'm a friendly man.
Yep.
Or...
So not him.
Or...
Hey.
This is Enlightened Plus. And it, as we looked at it when we were going through, there's some really interesting little synergies in there.
Yeah, very much so.
Between some of the subs and how the Black Wolf handle. But you do have the potential to take the full 2,000 points and make a second Commonwealth fleet. Yep. And even though they're all painted in the same style, one would be your main Commonwealth fleet and one would be your Black Wolf mercenaries attached to it.
Exactly. Got options.
You have a ton of options to play with. And I think that's key, even though the lists are there for you to work from and to build various fleets. But if there's a particular storyline or a particular fleet that you really like and you're playing with friends, you're not playing in a tournament situation, there's no reason why you can't twist, bend, or even, sometimes strain the rules to breaking point, if you will, just to see how they perform. And it might be that it is so overwhelmingly good that you'll never face anything except those again, which will teach you. Or you might discover that you're severely lacking in anti-air, and SRS token spam will deal with you, because eventually they've got to come up for air, some of them, and the ones that don't are very, very light on anti-aircraft sort of things in there. But it's been terrific seeing the fleets as they are now. If people are interested in seeing how they got to this position, though, there is a vlog series coming out, or a vlog video coming out.
Vlog video, I believe, yeah.
Right. What's that going to be entailing then? What will people be looking at? Because it will be you from the past.
Yeah, well, past me will tell you that there's a lot of ships and it's going to be a very big fleet. This is before he opened a rulebook and figured out that actually we need to make 1,000-point lists. So he's very excited about the amount of particularly destroyers and stuff. And I've realized that I really should have focused on line and not just had a single blucher in nearly everything.
What he said.
I mean, it's a way to do it, though. As far as the things like the paint schemes and stuff, do you go into detail about where they came from? You've gone kind of traditional box cover.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I liked how the Enlightened looked with the sort of dark silver and coppery kind of look to them, so I went with that. I was originally going to do pink glow on them. I realized I didn't have any. So I went for the normal green.
Went for green.
It looks well in it. I quite like it.
It's fair enough.
Yeah.
Whereas you've gone with something that's not as traditional, but at the same time very traditional.
Yeah, I wanted them to not look like what we already have on our shelves, which is very dark and heavy sort of looking. And a lot of the box art I've seen where they have been playing with those lighter sort of greys and stuff. And I thought, well, I'll just go with a lot more blue, because blue looks good on an ocean table.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
as long as the ocean table's darker.
Yeah. Oh, it will be. Don't worry. It'll be very North Atlantic-y, I'm sure, or possibly South Atlantic-y, because you'll be coming up from Antarctica for your stuff.
Yeah.
But there you go, folks. Keep your eye out for that vlog. Let us know what you think below of their fleets and whether or not there's anything they should be looking out for, either to add in or to be worried about from their opponents. And we'll be back in the new year with some games as well, I believe. So stay tuned for those too. Until next time, bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.